Yes guys, hello and welcome. Why is mindset, rewiring your subconscious mind, the best strategy you can have for your business? So I think, of course, it's going to be my personal opinion that so many people overlook mindset work and so many people just think everything is going fine with their business and they're wondering why they're stuck. So in this video, I'm going to be going through just a few key insights, key thoughts that I have and what philosophies make up my business and my offer and what I help my clients do, what I have helped myself do when it comes to business, and really just giving you a different perspective on how to get past a stuck stage in your business, how to hit the next income level, for example, how to get more clients on board, but also how to enjoy the process of business better. So like most of my videos, minimal editing, hopefully no editing, to be honest, just me, you, and just some notes in front of me here. So the first point I want to talk about here is every single strategy in business works if it's done well. And I've learned that from mentors. I've seen that, firsthand myself. It's a strategy for a reason and it works if you do it well. And that's the same for every business model that's been successful works if done well. So what does this tell me? What does it show me? What is the difference between someone who is doing the exact same business model as someone else, following the exact same strategy steps, because there's only really a certain amount that you can actually do that work. What is the difference between someone who's making £1,000 a month to £10,000 a month, for example, or £10,000 to £100,000 a month? There's so many different layers of income to this. Well, it's because some people have different belief systems. Some people have different confidence levels. Some people are very much expressing themselves and not holding anything back. Some people are. So I learned this from a mentor recently, and it's pulling different levers in business and making different decisions. It ultimately comes down to, and this is the summary for this first point, it's the person. It's the person that makes a difference between the same strategies either going well or not going well. When it comes to a service-based business, especially with coaches, online business owners, the service is the product. The person is the product. And especially when it comes to marketing through social media and making content, for example, everyone has their own uniqueness to themselves. The way they speak, the way they think, the way they coach. If you're a coach, for example, the way you do your service is always going to be different to everyone else because you have a different brain to everyone else. But a lot of people, from a subconscious standpoint, are afraid. They are afraid of people judging them. They are afraid of what people might think of their own unique ideas. And those unique ideas are what sets people apart. That's the difference between someone who is struggling and pushing and going forward. It's that different of uniqueness. So where does the subconscious mind come into this? Your subconscious mind is the sole responsibility is to keep you alive and safe. Your subconscious mind acts as a lens, as a filter to your outside world, to your subconscious mind and what goes on in there. It's almost like a computer program. You don't see it on a laptop, but behind the screen and under the keyboard, there are so many programs that are running. It's the exact same with your subconscious mind. It dictates 95% of your external reality, 95% of your actions, what you do with your hands, every decision you make, it's down to your subconscious mind. So a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs who are feeling that stuck feeling, they are not understanding that it's nothing to do with their strategy, it's nothing to do with their content, it's nothing to do with their marketing, their sales process, whatever that is. It's to do with them stopping themselves through fear of failure. They're worried that things aren't going to go the way they want it to. They are worried of what people are going to think about them if they were to start YouTube, for example. These fears, these worries, and these doubts are all lodged in the subconscious mind and they're stuck. They're not moving anywhere. So if you was to go into a new strategy, it's still not going to work because your subconscious mind, like I said, dictates everything else. So it's helpful to understand that every single strategy works. And I've been caught up with that before. I've gone to push my business forward, or I need to make or want to make some more income, for example, or get some more clients in. I've been looking for the next best strategy, but there's no difference to the one that was working before and the next one that's going to work for me. They all work if done well, but the difference is me and needing to change my belief systems and rewire my subconscious mind at a higher level to then let my business meet that level as well. I need to push that first before business comes along and meets it, okay? The second point here that I want to talk about as to why the subconscious mind and mindset is the best strategy you'll ever have is because there are always going to be hurdles, blockers and challenges when it comes to pushing a business. And that's the key word. If you are not pushing business forward, you're going to get left behind, because there are constant developments, there are constant changes in the world with AI, social media. You always need to be continuously thinking, as you know, in business, right, what needs to be tweaked and changed right now? So there are always going to be hurdles that come along. Hurdles mean your journey in business that's a little bit like this. Hopefully you can see up and down. Your emotions as a human being are going to follow that. So you're going to have good weeks, great months, great days where you're going to be feeling excited, positive, lots of great results. But there are inevitably, as business is very much up and down, there is going to be emotional volatility. If you don't have the emotional intelligence to understand what you're feeling in that moment, if you don't know how to actually deal with these mental blockers that are coming up, and you don't have that mental resilience and belief system that you can get back on track, what could potentially be some subtle ups and downs of an emotional roller coaster, you are going to be up and down like a really bad roller coaster. And the journey of building a business, instead of it being fun and exciting and different and cool, it's going to be stressful, it's going to be frustrating, it's going to be overwhelming. You know, if you've quit your job or you want to quit your job to build the business, do you really want to quit the job to be doing this with your emotions all the time? You need to have that upgraded subconscious mindset to be able to cater and deal with the volatility that business is going to impact your emotions with. Hopefully that's making sense. So again, going back to the question of why subconscious mindset is the best strategy you'll ever have, if you are feeling overwhelmed and stressed because you can't deal with your emotions in business, how do you think that's going to impact your actions, behaviors, and decisions? They're going to be poor, erratic, and they're going to be led by emotion rather than logic and a much more grounded perspective. The third point I want to talk about very, very briefly, and I've kind of echoed it already, is you cannot outwork a poor belief system. So very, very quickly again, back in your subconscious mind are where your beliefs are held. So whatever you believe to be true, you will see that on the outside. If, and a lot of the population, let alone business owners, a lot of the population will have this, in my opinion, is, let's say, for example, there is the belief of, I don't really believe I will make X amount, £10,000 per month in business, which is very popular. If that belief system is running in the background and that's all you ever see, you're constantly going to be looking for evidence to suggest the thing that you deep down believe is true. So you're going to notice a negative sales month. You're going to notice everyone saying no. You're not going to notice inquiries coming through. You're not going to notice opportunities because you believe that you can't hit that goal. And again, your subconscious and the beliefs control 95% of what you see. So if that belief system keeps you here, this is the limit that you are going to consistently keep on hitting. Again, this is the best strategy. Oh, that's not working. There's a new piece of content. Oh, it's not working. Your subconscious mindset and belief systems keep you limited. That's why you have to work on the belief systems to give you more wiggle room in your business. So you're constantly going to be hitting that ceiling and cap in your business. The last point I want to talk about here. So hopefully you're really starting to understand, like, oh, actually, maybe mindset is important. These motivational videos and things I listen to about mindset, maybe they have got a bit of truth in them. The last point here isn't necessarily just about getting to the next income level and isn't necessarily about getting more and more success. The last point I want to talk about here is very much mindset related, but is incredibly important, and it takes an element of emotional maturity, I would say, to understand this. There is a reason why millionaires and billionaires are unhappy in life and they go into philanthropy and they go into charity, because they're missing a piece of the puzzle that they initially got into business for. They tick off the box of money, they tick off the box of financial success and freedom, but they lose the element of fulfillment. And I always go back to this same example. It's not the Ferrari or Lamborghini that someone wants, it's the feeling that they're going to get from the Lamborghini or the Ferrari. So what do I mean by that? If you're consistently getting to the chase of money, so you make £5,000 a month, you want 10. When you get to 10, you want to 15. When you get to 15, you're going to want to making 20 every single month. You start to just chase money for chasing money's sake. Why has mindset got anything to do with this? Well, you need to understand that the perspective you have on success and the perspective that you have around why you want that level of success and what you want your life to look like, where do you think the perspective comes from? It comes from your subconscious mind and what you believe to be true about the level of success. What I don't want to happen personally in my business is just this continuous chase of money, because I'm wanting money for a reason. It doesn't just stop at money. I want money for freedom. I want money to feel safe and secure. But every time I hit a new income level, if I've not trained my mindset to be grateful and satisfied and fulfilled in other areas of life other than money, I'm going to be constantly just chasing. I'm going to be constantly pushing my success further and further into the future. And it will never come because I'm always pushing it into the future. So what you need to understand is that rewiring your subconscious mindset for success doesn't just stop there. It also allows you to hit success, but also have an element of fulfillment, happiness, and grounded gratitude when you hit that income goal. But you can still push forward. There's a balance that you can have between the two. But again, this all comes from how you are wired back here in your subconscious mind. So when we actually look at why mindset and subconscious rewiring is the most important strategy and the best strategy you can have in business, it's for two reasons. One, because you will always be hitting your limitations when it comes to your limiting beliefs, which are in your subconscious mind. You cannot outwork those. You will always hit that ceiling. So they need to be shifted up a gear and rewired to allow you to hit more success. But two, we have to understand that our subconscious mind and our mindset creates the perspective in which we see the world around us. So if we're always chasing and we're never ever happy with the amount of money we make, the reason you got into business was probably to a degree to find some sort of happiness or fulfillment. You're never going to reach that if your subconscious mind is giving you a negative perspective on always chasing. The question there is, when is it ever going to be enough? When are you ever going to be happy? So when you are feeling stuck, maybe it's right now, maybe it's in a month, doesn't matter, and you're always looking for the next best strategy, think to yourself, am I actually just avoiding this negative, limiting, lack of confidence? I'm worrying about failure, all those types of things. Am I just experiencing a poor mindset and a poor subconscious mindset right now? Or do I need the next strategy? Because trust me, it's probably going to be the first one. I hope this video has been insightful and helpful for you, and hopefully it's starting to reshift your perspective on what mindset actually means and how your subconscious and your mindset can completely and utterly dictate the level of success you have, the amount of money you make in business, and also your happiness and fulfillment along that journey to manage your emotions. Feel free, under this video, in the description, there is a link to a free subconscious shift training, which is going to show you the ropes on how we do mindset work inside my program, how I've done it myself, and that video and training is completely for free. So just go and click the link below and grab a copy of that training. Hope this has been helpful for you. Feel free to subscribe to keep up to date with future videos. As I said, hopefully this has been helpful. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.